Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, today we have another banned episode. Now, both are pretty weird, to be fair. This one started off as, absolutely fine. So we are on vineyards. Now, we know on vineyards there is this bush here that all light tanks pretty much should go to, really, because it opens up anyone that is coming this side of the map. It's a very good spot, especially when there is the base here as well on supremacy. So unfortunately this Sheridan decides to go a little bit further forward, and he does get spotted. Now the grill is also here as well. Now that's nothing wrong with that. If they want to both go into this position at the minute, it's looking okay. They're both sort of working together as such, side by side, and they are sort of both coverings. There's nothing too wrong with that. The only problem when you start working close together is you start hitting each other. Now they were fine, and all of a sudden the grill was just like, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to push you up against this building. And a lot of it, I'm sitting here thinking about the Sheridan. I'm thinking, can the Sheridan get out? Can he get away? At the moment, he is pushing her up in the building, and he is, or she, I don't know, I think it's she, struggling to get out. But the only problem I have with the Sheridan is if you're getting pushed out, if you're getting blocked, honestly, just relocate. Just relocate into a different position. Now, they don't do that. And ultimately, they pay the price because they just got a nasty shot there from the Death Star. And then the Sheridan starts kind of doing it to the grill. Now, again, just because you get blocked, just because you don't like being blocked, you want to stay in this position, it doesn't make it right for you then to sit behind the grill. I know he's not really blocking, like they're not blocking the grill as such. They're just staying there so the grill can't come back. And I suppose that there's, in a way, there is nothing wrong with that. They're not doing any issues. If the grill wants to back up, then that is, I suppose, the grill's problem. I don't know. It's a tough one. Would you say the Sheridan was in the wrong as well? A little bit of it where they sat straight behind the grill, definitely. But then when they went up to the building and the grill backed up, it's very hard to justify that. But let me know what you think. Do you think the Sheridan was also in the wrong? But for sure, the grill, he ruined the game. I don't think it would have been a win anyway. I think the team just got absolutely annihilated there. Again, like I said, there's nothing wrong with two tanks being in the same position. The problem is when you start hitting each other, and that is exactly what happened. Next up, we've got the Hori. Now, looking at the M46 pattern, and again, this one is a little bit of a weird one because the battle starts and straight off the bat, the M46 pattern decides to, yep, you're my target. You are my target. And again, just like the Sheridan, there's parts of this game I'm watching, I'm thinking, Hori can get out. Surely he can get out. But it's not good being in a turretless tank when you got a medium tank blocking you. It's very, very difficult to get out of that, and there isn't really too much you can do. The worst thing that the Hori can actually do is back up to the red line, because now the pattern is just like, hey, absolutely perfect. I can now just sit directly in front of you. No idea why this pattern, and let's just show their name, shall we? It's Fring Incognito. No idea why they do it, because again, in a moment, you're just like, and then they just go away. Like, if you're going to block someone, surely you would try and do it all game. And at the moment they're trying to do that. You can see they're trying to block this Hori. They don't want to do anything else except to block this Hori. And it's very, very frustrating, especially now when you are against the red line. There just isn't too much you can do. The mediums on the red have started to come around. They've caught C, and any moment now, these guys are going to get spotted, and there you go. The pattern has now been spotted, and as soon as the pattern was spotted, that was a bad shot. That was a very bad shot. But as soon as the pattern has spotted, he's then like, okay, my job's done and I can now disappear. And you can see the hurry left and the pattern has now run away. So, you know, what's the point? Unless you're going to do it all game, like, what is the point of doing that? Spend half of the game or 2 minutes of the game blocking someone and then proceed to carry on with your game. Albeit, I mean, watch what the pattern does now. No idea what the pattern is doing, to be fair. So he goes middle. There's a couple of tanks. Of course, there are quite a few tanks not spotted either. So I'm just looking at the pattern here. So he gets a shot off there. And then he just goes forward. What are you doing? There's 2 tank destroyers that have not been spotted. There's the first one. And he just gets absolutely wrecked. Like, proper wrecked. No idea why he decided to do that. Now, again, at this point, the Horis should back up, really. Like, I know they're pushing forward, but I wouldn't sit here. There is 2 tank destroyers that is not spotted. We know where the E3 is over there, sorry, but there is still a Death Star that is not spotted anywhere at the moment. Now, I do get it. They're going for the push here, which is fair enough, you know. Okay, if they're going for the push, all push together, and hopefully it turns out for the best. But there is still a couple of medium tanks as well getting in on the action, and then he's going to go for the shot here in the Conqueror. There's the Conqueror gone. And to be fair, if they pushed and they done it correctly like now, it's not too bad. However, there is still a Death Star not spotted, and he could cause a massive problem, the same as the 2 medium tanks. The 2 medium tanks pretty much full hit points. They've got great DPM, and they are not, well, I was going to say they're not spotted, but they are over there. So they are losing hit points at least. But at this point, if you're all going to push together, if you are all going to rush together, then ideally you want to be going for the same targets. You have to go for the same targets, otherwise what's the point pushing? So now it is a 4 versus 3. There is still 2 medium tanks. Now this is the only problem I have. He's fixated on this E3. There's the Death Star. He could have actually got a shot off on the E-Fit or the T-22, whatever medium was around that corner. So they could have got the shot off. I personally, at this point, would leave the tank destroyers to last, because one, yes, has a massive damage, but it's not a carry. And the other one, the E3, yes, it has massive armor, but it hasn't got a turret. So personally, I would have dealt with the medium tanks, and they had an opportunity to have a couple of shots on the medium tanks, to be fair. But at this point now, it's a 4 versus 1, and it is pretty much game over. But you know, the pattern, there was no need for the pattern to do what the pattern done, and definitely for that deserves a ban. So let me know what you think. Again, let me know, do you think the Sheridan was in the wrong in the first replay? And yeah, the second replay, it's straightforward. He deserves to be banned. But hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for all the kind messages over the last couple of days. The last couple of days have honestly been so a nightmare. It is a nightmare. As you know, we have had a baby. Now, we were supposed to, because she was overdue, we were supposed to go in hospital on Saturday to be induced, sort of to get the baby out. The hospital were busy. They wanted us to go in anyway, just to observe the baby, just make sure it's all fine. Sent us home, and they said, ring us tomorrow. So we rung tomorrow, the morning, and then they was like, yeah, we're still too busy. Can you call a bit later? We called a bit later, and then they said, we're still too busy. We'll call you later, which of course they didn't do. And then we called them, and they just said to us, you know what, come in and we will get the action going. We went into the hospital, and we had one midwife literally say, yeah, we'll start you off in a couple of hours. A new midwife comes in and says, oh, it won't be until midnight. And then another midwife, the midwife in charge, said, yeah, do you know what, we're still too busy, go home. So they sent us home on the Sunday. We called back on the Monday. They told us to come in at sort of 10 o'clock in the morning. All good, all good. And then we was there like 4 hours without even being seen. But eventually Monday night we did have the a baby girl, Amelia May. I'll post a picture now. So I do thank everyone for their support, and again, like I said the other day, videos will still come when I have the opportunity to. And you know, I'm off now, I'm off work for 3 weeks, so yeah, I'm not going to have many opportunities to make videos. So there may be a few days here and there without videos, but all those that have supported, I do really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you very much, and I will see you all soon. Bye bye.